Welcome back to the weekly Brooklyn property market update brought to you by Engel & Volker's Brownstone, Brooklyn. My name is Katriona, and of course I'm joined again today by Donald Brennan. Hello, Donald.
Good afternoon, Katriona. Beautiful day here on Court Street in Cobble Hill.
Absolutely. I'm here in Prospect Heights, also an equally lovely day looking out. So let's look at that data from last week across the 16 key neighborhoods in Brooklyn that we track. Townhouses definitely seem to be the hot commodity still from what we're seeing in our data. So tell us about the percentage of townhouses that are new to market versus in contract or sold right now.
So over the last 9 months, going back to kind of mid-June and looking at the numbers there, townhouses have gone into contract or close since then at a rate of 73%, which is pretty strong. So that's a 301 versus 420 that were introduced to the market over that time frame. New development condos are actually coming in next at 63%, with 91 deals versus 145. And then following up that, we see condo resales in the luxury segment trading up at a 47% rate from in contract versus new to market, so 93 versus 200.
Impressive numbers. The mean is meaningless was an expression I vividly remember from a math teacher, which of course refers to the fact that outlier numbers can sometimes skew data if you're using an average. Having said that, let's talk about average list prices for the new to market, particularly in the luxury market, versus what's happening with the list prices when you compare them to those that go into contract.
Sure thing. So looking at the average new to market last week, in the luxury segment, we see that price at 3.76 and the in contract number at 3.57. So sellers, expectations a little bit higher there, and then where the in contract deals are happening. So some discounting, or that could also just be a reflection of where the trend line is heading versus what's occurred previously. Looking at just pure numbers of listings, we are dropping down in the luxury segment here from a high recently 2 weeks ago, or a high in 2021 anyway, just over 22.5 deals getting done. And we are now up to averaging 20 on a trailing 4-week basis for properties going into contract, which is a 300% increase over mid-June of 2020.
So continuing on that theme, but segueing to the below 2.25 million market, is there any evidence that we're seeing from our weekly data there that perhaps sellers are putting properties on the market at prices that are a little bit higher?
So a little bit of a converse there in that the deals that are closing were last week anyway, running ahead of where listings were showing up. Very close though. Almost in parity, and as you pointed out earlier, the mix of things is such that it's hard to discern, different property types in there, different property sizes, where the average is going to be skewed in some way. But looking at the number of listings for this segment of the market, very tight here with over the last few weeks, and that is just about in contract activity, just keeping up with the new to market listings coming online. So a fairly, I think, balanced equation there, I guess, from the sell to buy side, and we'll see how that goes as inventory tightens up.
Definitely. So as we know, when a price hovers around or just below the million mark, thoughts of mansion tax start to come into people's heads. So can you just explain to our viewers and our listeners how and why this kicks in and how it primarily tends to affect buyers' closing costs?
Mm-hmm. So this is a new change to the tax law too. That's 2019 alteration, and it was just a fixed number for quite some time there at 1%, and now we have a graduated rate above 1%, up to 3.9. So at 1%, it's the $1 million threshold, anywhere between 1 million and just under 2 million. So 1.99999 is the first threshold. Then we have 8 tiers above that, up until 3.9, where we cap the rate there at that number for anything at $25 million or above. So a graduated rate, certainly something that's on the mind of every buyer at the million or under the million. And as we've talked about for quite some time now, that part of the market very, very active, starting as back in the summer, actually, which was great to see that confidence of these buyers at that price point active in the market to a degree that they had not been even 12 months earlier. So really a great shot in the arm for the entire market. And now we see that creeping up where that activity is extending way above the $1 million mark, 1.5, 1.3, 1.75. And so again, not quite getting to the 2 mark, but people just kind of grin and bearing it and paying that tax just to get the property that they want.
Absolutely, just accepting it's part of doing the deal.
Yeah.
So that's it from us this week. Check back in next week for more accurate and informed observations on the Brooklyn property market from England Walker's Brownstone, Brooklyn. That's it from me, and thank you, Donald. Take us out with a few final words.
Sure thing. And as a reminder, as we do every week, just don't hesitate to reach out. We're here, we're available. Just prior to this call here, I had a conversation with two different property owners just around the corner here from our shop in Court Street. Just popped in, to ask some questions about the reports that we generate, services we provide, and their circumstance were uniquely different, and just spent the time talking them through that. Really appreciated the information, and we'll be doing business with both of them, I think, not too long from now. So don't hesitate to reach out. You don't have to come to the shop if you'd like to, by all means, don't hesitate. Otherwise, use the contact info at the end of this video to reach out, and we'll gladly share our knowledge and expertise with you.
Great. See you next week.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.